I haven't seen that yet, and so I wish someone can make that, since I don't do modding for the game. I just use the mods for driving, because the truck that I'm driving right now is a mod, and so it's not the stock truck, because the stock trucks are Kenworth and Peterbilt, and so yeah, and so another question off of the list is, how often do you take breaks, and how often do you go to truck stops? And
well, how often do we take breaks? That will vary from day to day. DOT has put in a mandatory 30-minute break, which sometimes we take over after ship are being loaded. Instead, usually we try not to break, I guess, unless we've got to stop for bathroom breaks or food. It really depends on how much time we have for each load and how often we stop. And as far as truck stops, we go to the truck stops for fuel or restroom breaks, or I usually try to avoid truck stops to stay overnight unless we are showering.
I'll say the most common amount would be like twice or 3 times a day. The half an hour, like she was saying, is the one that we have to take. And restroom breaks two other times. So.
And so how often, how far would you say every truck stop would be?
As far as distance from each other?
Yeah.
It would depend on if you're in the city, outside of the city, or depending on the state. Some are spread out very far, and some are within maybe an hour of each other. Sometimes you have 2 or 3 truck stops just on the same exit even. So it just really varies. Like there's in Colorado, if you're going through mountains, there's a lot less truck stops off of smaller highways, so you won't see them as often on smaller highways. Usually most of them are on the major interstates.
Okay. And so for the next question, how often do you guys have problems with the trucks? Like, for example, any engine performance or tires? Like, for example, like the one time when you told me how your guys' tire blew out one time, and
yes, I think it all depends on the company a lot too when it comes to those things. I think with certain companies, they're really good at keeping up with the trailers, because a lot of the time is the trailers, not the trucks. So when the company keeps up with the trailers, and we make sure also to put air in the tires, I think it helps.
And the reason why it's the trailers most of the time is because of the fact that we drop and hook a lot of times. So, some other driver pulled that trailer and then they dropped it somewhere, and you don't know how long it's been sitting there, and you don't know if the tires need to go through a terminal or something to be able to get the tires changed. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, and some other drivers may not fill the tires or may not have gotten an opportunity to. So depending on that, which with Martin Transport, they were pretty strict on making sure that the drivers were putting air on their tires.
yes.
Yeah, we did a monthly inspection.
Like with the company we're working with now, he's just barely starting out, so he's been using a lot of used tires, and so I think we probably had a lot more flat tires and blowouts more often with him than
it's a different
with
situation. It's
the last company.
He's our friend. So it's a little bit more personal than working for a company. We definitely have experience with 2 different companies, which definitely, like she said, it just depends on the company. And how well they take care of the trailers. But as far as the truck, I think there's always a semi truck is something that it is in constant.
It's constantly running down the road.
Yeah. So there's always little something here and there. There's always either a light went off or I don't know, air conditioner went off. It's time to refill it.
And that also depends on how old the truck is. And you get issues with newer trucks, minor things most of the time. But once those minor things are fixed, sometimes the truck can actually be a really good truck for quite a while. I think we had a 2012 International, and it was probably one of the worst trucks we ever had.
Oh, really?
As far as breaking down, it constantly broke down.
Very popular. A very nice truck. I mean, this truck she's talking about, International, was really nice inside. Very spacey, very nice. But as far as, yes, it constantly broke down, and just couldn't trust it.
And then, like, with the Volvos, I think the typical things that go on the Volvo, at least the few that we drove, was like the windshield wipers, turn signals, like little minor things.
Volvos are nice, you know, I like Volvos.
The Jake brake went out on us the one time.
Oh, no.
The cruise control went out.
They all got their own different things that, you know, you're never gonna get a perfect truck. You know,
Yeah.
even when you have a good truck, you're still gonna always have something. You know, that's just the nature of trucks. Because these trucks are being exposed to constantly driving all day.
Well, and like with the Kenworth we have right now, that truck has actually been a really good truck. We haven't had a whole lot of issues. I mean, it does have minor cosmetic things that might need to be fixed, but it's not something that is really affecting the truck. I think we have a little bit of an electrical issue.
Okay.
It's not really like a big deal. I think other than that, the truck's actually it's older than the International, and it's been lasting us quite a bit longer without any major issues.
Okay, so oops. Didn't see that guy. Accidentally ran into him. So yeah, it's starting to turn night, so it's yeah.
Do you have to turn your headlights on?
Yeah, I've got them on. And so let's see, I'm trying to. Okay, so that sort of narrows down some of the questions that I've had. But if you guys want to talk about more experience, like some of the places you've been, how is it different in some of the different states other here than in Utah? What's the
difference?
Yeah.
Well, the climate changes.
We were just in Indiana for a couple of weeks. From Illinois to Indiana, back and forth carrying potatoes, and it was so humid. I mean, really humid. We're not used to Pittsburgh. We're used to some type of climate, and adding to the humidity, the mosquitoes were tremendous. So it will definitely change in different ways.
And then you have different, like when you go east, one of my favorite things is that in the summer, spring, summer, and fall, just before winter, you get to see fireflies, and that's something you don't see.
Yeah, and that's what I remember going on the family history trip with my family. We saw some fireflies, and those are pretty cool to see.
It's pretty neat.
And so,
And they grew up with them, so to her it wasn't a big deal. But the first time I ever saw it, no kidding. Apply that actually to clothes. It's just pretty neat.
yeah.
And then terrain changes. I mean, like in Pennsylvania, it's very
Pennsylvania.
mountainous.
Really cool.
It's very beautiful in the fall when you see the leaves changing and you look inside the mountain. You see all different colors of trees. There's pink, orange, yellow, green, brown, like all different colors, and it looks really beautiful.
There's times we just have to just stop and don't do anything. We just look out. 'Cause I know at the very beginning when we first started truck driving, I think we pay attention to the scenery and surroundings and the outdoors. It felt like vacation for a long time, for years actually. But then, now doing it for 8 years, it's starting to feel more like work. We tend to take it for granted.
It was so much like vacation that we'd be out for a week or two and we'd already be ready to go home.
Yeah, I get homesick a few times. But it's a whole different story. We're out 2 to 3 months out. Just depends.
Yeah. And so probably one of my biggest pet peeves will probably be if I were to, drive a truck, it'd be hard for me to get up into the cab because some of the steps are pretty high and hard to get up in. And have you ever had any problems with getting in? Or
You know what it is that there's 2 beds, one up high and one down low. So there's not.
No, getting into the truck, like from the outside.
Oh, from the outside. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I missed the question completely. Let me see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think we've slipped a couple of times, but probably a couple of times within the 8 years that we've been driving.
And some trucks are easier than others, more comfortable when it comes to the setting. And you are trained, when they train you at school,
To have 3 points of contact,
to
that's
be
what they
able,
call it.
they show you how to get into the truck, how to get out of the truck. So,
oh, okay.
yes. But some of them can be a lot easier and some, yeah, they're not as easy.
Yeah, like for example, like the Kenworths or like the Peterbilts, like the Peterbilt 389. I think that might be one of the easier trucks to get into.
Yeah, some of them are lower to the floor. They seem to, right? The steps, the Peterbilt, the ones.
Yeah, and then some of them, the steps are wider and spread more apart, and some are narrower and closer together.
Yeah, like for example, the Volvo is, separated pretty good, and
Oh, yes.
so I think that would be one of the the difficult things for me, especially since I have a hard time with having knee surgery and so.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the things that we always try to be careful with. It's like the first things that the driver takes for granted, and he's like, be cautious, just, you never know.
That's also another thing, though.
We fell off of the truck a few times many years ago.
Or sled.
Yeah.
I think you probably.
Remember you trying to hold on to the wheel one time? You just fell. It's been so long, but yeah, we've had some funny episodes in the past where we just get comfortable. The same way, like when we first started truck driving, we had our boss now, Kurt. He gave us the best advice ever. He said, "Whatever you do, don't ever get comfortable." And that was the best advice because it's true. With driving a big truck like that, even if you've been driving it for 30 years, it's not a matter of you being so cautious, but someone else might not be. So there's always danger out there. So you always have to be careful.
Yeah. So that's one of the my fears if I were to drive a truck, that I would always have a hard time getting in. So
It might actually not be that difficult. I don't know. It just I guess it depends from truck to truck.
yeah,
And there's usually a lot more space in these trucks sometimes than you'd get in a regular car even. Usually you have a lot less leg room space in these trucks. The seats go up and down, back and forth, all kinds of different things.
okay, so looks like we actually got to our delivery point in good timing, and so
That's pretty good.
I thought we would have had to do like a 2 episode, but it's oops. And so that serves my last question. So how difficult is it to park the trailers and stuff?
I think
It depends on the shipper. It depends on the place
yes.
you're parking. Some truck stops are really small and the lanes are really narrow between trucks, so it makes it more difficult to get in there with the bigger trailer. Same with the shippers. We've had some crazy experiences. Every shipper is different. I mean, there's some that have huge lots and you don't have no problem parking. It's really simple and really easy. And then sometimes you go to these. We went to this one grocery store place in California one time, and they have this concrete wall, and then they have the docks, and you have to back in the concrete wall. You can't go past it when you back in. That's it. That's the end of it. And it's really tight back
Really tight.
in when there's other trucks there. So they end up having to unhook from their trailers just to be able to load another truck back in.
It's
That's
how
how
did it get sometimes.
Yeah, and so for example, for like this delivery area, you guys can see. I hope it's not too dark. There's only like 2 docks, and so it's kind of hard, you know.
So we would always have to.
So like a place like that would probably be fairly easy. I would probably pull up closer to the wall up against the building and then turn all the way around to straighten my trailer back in. Or turn all the way around if you have enough room to turn all the way around. Because that's the thing is some places you have to back in on your blind side, and that makes it very difficult. So you always want to try to back in on your side at all possible.
Yeah, and so that's why on my game I always have for the easy spots, and so because I'm just starting to get used to parking and so,
Right. Yes.
and so unhook the trailer now, and so kind of an excellent job, so which is awesome. And another question, so do you guys get this much from delivering trailers, or like the
As far as when we were working for the companies, we didn't get to really see what they got paid or anything like that. As far as the company we work for now, no, for every load, it's probably.
We do get to see his paperwork, so it's a lot easier to.
It can be any. It really depends on the distance too. Sometimes, so like if you get paid anywhere between $1.50 to $3 a mile, I think I would guess, and you always want I guess like when you set up with a company to do like a dedicated run, I think they usually contract to pay a little bit more than that, and so but if you're just brokering loads, I think it tends to be on the lower end, and that's the thing too. It's a business, so you can negotiate prices and things like that.
That's something Kirk will do. That looks like about right. Okay.
No.
Oh. No.
Okay.
That's really high.
Yeah,
actually.
that's pretty high.
I guess I don't know what was the mileage on that.
Well, it was over 500 miles, and
So I would think he probably wouldn't get paid more than $1,000 for that load.
mm,
And it depends what we be carrying too. So
yeah,
because sometimes hot loads, what they call hot loads, pay a lot more. On refrigerated loads, pay more than the dry loads. So
Sometimes.
it just depends.
okay. So that will do for this episode, and so I hope you guys enjoyed this interview episode, and so it was really great having you guys, Myth.
It's nice for you.
And so, for you guys on YouTube, if you have any more questions for them, I can text them later the questions. If you have any other questions, please comment below the video. And if this is the first video that you're watching done by me, please subscribe. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll talk to you guys later. And keep on trucking.
Down to the